Now taking a look at the midpoint and length of a line segment. So what we're going to do here is just take two general points and then investigate the idea of the midpoint and the length of that line. So if we take two general points here, let's say we've got the point x1, y1. We've also got another general point here, say x2, y2. The midpoint then is exactly halfway between these two coordinates. So in that case, if we just want to work out the midpoint here, all we need to do is add up our x coordinates together and divide those by 2, as we have two coordinates. And same again here with the y1 and the y2 coordinate, we're just going to add them together and divide by 2. So the midpoint here, simply given as x1 plus x2 divided by 2. We repeat this here now with the y1 and the y2 coordinates here, so y1 plus y2, and then we just divide by 2 there. So that formula gives us the midpoint for two general points here. What about the length of this line? Well, the length is simply calculated as follows. So we take the square root here of x2 minus x1 all squared. And we repeat this again here, so we just need to add on the same idea with the y coordinates. It's going to be y2 minus y1 all squared, and that square root also includes this y2 minus y1 all squared there. So that's our formula for the length then, when given two general points. So now let's take a look at this with particular coordinates. So for example, if we've got the coordinates 1, 2 and 7, 10. 7, 10 here. Okay, these are our two general points, or they were our two general points, and that was our general formulas here. In this case now, we've got actual coordinates to work with. So here, all we need to do, if we want to work out the midpoint again, is just apply this general formula here for the midpoint. We're going to add the x coordinates together and divide those by 2. Repeat this again with the y coordinates. So here, if you'd prefer, you can also label these coordinates. This will be x1, y1, and this will be x2, y2. If you make, that makes it easier to see, that's absolutely fine there. So in this case then, just applying this formula, this is going to be 1 plus 7 divided by 2. For our x coordinate and for our y coordinate, it's going to be 2 plus 10. And again, divide this by 2. Now if we calculate this here, this gives us 8 over 2. For our x coordinate, for our y coordinate, that's going to be 12 over 2. And then evaluating each one of these, well, 8 over 2 gives us 4. And 12 over 2 gives us 6. So in that case, the midpoint between 1, 2 and 7, 10 is simply 4, 6 there. And for the length then, again, we just need to make use of this formula here, substituting in appropriately. So the length is simply defined as x2 minus x1, so that's x2 which is 7, minus x1 which is 1, and we're going to square that value, and we repeat this with the y2 minus y1, so this is plus 10 minus 2 all squared. So all we need to do now is evaluate each one of these brackets separately. So in this case, it's going to be 6 squared, which is 36, and 10 minus 2 gives us 8, so 8 squared there gives us 64. Okay, so that's 6 squared plus 8 squared, giving us the square root here, 36 plus 64, which is equal to the square root of 100, and the square root of 100, we know that clearly evaluates to 10 there. So the length of 1, 2 to 7, 10 is 10 units there.